database. If I want to store data permanently, I'll be storing in file. The other one is database. So still we haven't started with database. So all my data, I'm storing it in text file. Always I want to handle each and every data as an object. And if you take employee detail, it is collection of different data. So I'm creating a class. Objects are holding 4 variables, 4 data. So 4 data has to be handled with the help of variables. And as per the rule of OOPS, variable should be always private. And we have public getter, setter method. So step number 1, I'm retrieving and I'm storing all the objects as an array list. So you can store each and every individual data, an integer data, string data, double data in your collection array list. Apart from that, your array list, you can store an object. So I am gonna to store employee object. So create an array list with employee type. Every time when you are adding the data to your list, you will be adding as an object. How to create an object? With this help of syntax. Class name, object name equal to new class name of, this is an object, or you can directly go with new class name of. And if you have values, you can pass those values to your constructor. We can handle regular values or also object values in my collection. So from line number 11 to 16, I'm giving a direct value. I'm storing all the direct value via object, and the object is added in my list. So apart from these 5 data, I'm reading the data from my file. I'm reading each and every line. I'm storing it in data. I'm splitting the data so that I'll be getting each and every data, 7006, Heba, Mumbai. And that data I'm converting to employee object. That object further I'm storing it my list 3. So my list 3 is holding 5 plus 7, 12 data. So this is not any new demo, the same demo which I have introduced on Friday. I'm repeating the same. So I have printed all the data. In order to print, you can use iterator as well as you can use enhanced for. So whenever you are printing an object, toString will be called. So I can print the data as it is in the same order which I have inserted. Apart from that, I can sort the data and I can print the data. So in order to sort, Java provides comparable and comparator. So comparable, it will give you only single sorting mechanism. So I can sort either based on one data at a time. But if you take comparator, I can go for multiple sorting. So on that day, I have given a demo on comparator. I want you to try comparable. So for what is the step for comparator? You need to create a class. So you should create a class
which implements.
Yeah. So you need to create a class. A class needs to implement comparator and it should override compare. It will take 2 parameters. Imagine like those 2 parameters are values. So and it is having its own algorithm of swapping the value. So I have created 3 classes. One is comparator employee ID sort. The other one is employee name sort. The other one is salary sort. So I have 3 classes. All the 3 were user defined class and all the classes implementing comparator. And this is for salary, this is for name, this is for employee ID. This is comparator. So I need to call with the help of method sort, and sort method belongs to collection. Collections.sort of, it will take 2 parameters. The first parameter is my list object. Here it is my list 3. of the type employee, and it is an array list holding 12 records. And the second parameter is object. So initially, as per your requirement, you said you want to sort based on name. So and then I'm printing the data, whatever the data it will be printing, it will be sorted based on name, employee name. And here it is ID sorted, here it is based on salary sorted. So apart from that, I created two functions. I created only one function, and I want you to do with two or three functions. So I am calling a function and I am passing list 3. And this list 3, I want to get only 7001 employee record. So I'm passing 12 record. I may get 2 or 3 as an output. So for that, we need to create a temporary list. So you need to traverse all the record, and you will be using appropriate if and else for comparison. So only if it is matches, I am adding the object to my temp object. So when you return temp object, whichever the record, employee ID matching with 7001, that record alone will be returned. So that I'm capturing with my function return type, and I'm printing the data of 7001 employee ID. So this is what we did on Friday demo. Anywhere you got struck, you need repetition on any line, I've shared the same source code to you all.
No, ma'am.
This is with respective to comparator. For comparator, you need to create a separate class, and I can go for any type of sorting. I can sort based on salary. I can sort based on ID, name. If you want to call salary, always you need to call with get salary. Getter method. Nothing new. I have not even added a single line. Whatever the demo we discussed on Friday, the same demo I'm revising. See, I'm closing all. Even I'm creating a new project. Let me show you a demo on comparable. Did anyone try a comparable interface? I'm asking you, have you tried a sample demo on comparable?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is that?
Tejas.
Tejas, can you open the demo and can you share?
Actually, I don't using a demo. I using that sprint.
Sprint.
Yeah.
All right. Listen carefully. So whenever if you are doing, please explore what is happening inside your file explorer. So listen. So listen, let us have a quick demo on comparable. So let me create a Java class. What I can do this time.
Marks with student.
No student, or we can go for any. So product, student, employee, or flight. I'll go for flight. Shall I use flight details?
Yes, ma'am.
Please listen. Don't say after some time that you were busy in doing other sprints. Listen. I already have routes. So let's say route 1. I will copy and I'll paste here. So I'm taking the same data.
Ma'am, delete 25th line.
Oh, thanks. So what is this? From to, this is distance, time, and amount.
Distance, time, and amount. Amount, right?
Fair. Please come along with me. Don't engage yourself in any other work. I'm starting from scratch. Generate your constructor. Generate getter, because I have constructor which is used for setting. So generate getter. I'll go a little bit fast. I'm sure these are all familiar to you. And generate toString. Shall I continue with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me create a Java class and I'm naming the Java class as operations. So I'm gonna to get read file data. The first method is used to return my complete array list. It wants to read all the data from the file and it needs to convert it into flight object, and that flight object, all the objects I want to add in my array list and I want to return my array list. Will it be fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So main string file name is equal to I'll go for absolute path. Guys, in your workbench, it is taking a relative path. When it comes to your tool, right click your file, copy path or reference, click this absolute path and paste it here. So all my functions are located in operation. So create object for operations class. And by using the object, call read file data and you need to pass file name. And you know something, this function is returning an array list of the type flight. Let me give the name as flight list is equal to new array list of flight list data I'm getting from this operation. Take time, analyze the 4 lines. I'm declaring and initializing file name. I'm creating object for operations. I'm creating my list of the type flight. And the data I am retrieving from my read file data. So shall I print the data? Yes. Will it works? So from my main, I'm calling the method and the method is reading, loading the data in the list object, and it is returning back that data I'm printing. Nothing is new to you all. Shall I continue with read file data?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I run, I will not get anything because it is returning null.
Null.
Yeah, read file data method is empty. It's null pointer. All of you listen. I am creating an array list of the type flight. And I'm trying to print the data. I don't have anything in my data because the data needs to load from the method and the method is incomplete. I'm going to write the coding in this method. Please come along with me. Do I want to keep a pass? Anyone wants to review any code till now? Please. Again, I'm
line
telling
9 and 10 can be written in one line.
merged. Yeah, merged. Either here you need to create object with new keyword or inside the function you need to do memory allocation.
Here also we have to pass all the data in the list.
Even if you want, I'll merge both. No problem. So this flight list data needs to be retrieved from read file data. Whatever the data we are returning from the method, same memory, same data will be loaded in flight list. What is your second question?
Ma'am, in the method also we have to create the list.
Yeah, we need to create. That is why I combined here. Let us create a list in our method. If I run, I will get null only because my method is returning null. So array list flight my list 1 is equal to new array list of, and I'm gonna to return my list. This is very, very important. What is an input I'm getting as a parameter to my function and what is a return type? Earlier, we used to return Boolean, we used to return string, we used to return integer. So as soon as I introduced a collection, method may return my collection list also of appropriate type. This is generics. Shall I continue
Yes, ma'am.
from
Yes,
9th
ma'am.
line?
Yes, ma'am.
In order to read, those who got doubt on file reading, file IO handling, listen. So buffered reader object name is equal to new buffered reader of, you cannot read directly, you need to use piped methodology. Buffer reader will take the reference of file reader. File reader will take your file name. And go for try with resource. So everything you enclosed within your try block. Whenever if you are handling exception, don't forget to import your IO package. Always, whenever if you are handling IO package, mandatory, either I need to surround with try and catch or I need to
Throw exception.
throws exception. So better to avoid other category, let me throw IO exception itself. Oh, still it is throwing. Here also throw an exception. Wherever you are calling propagation exception. In your main method also throw IO exception. In your operation also throw as IO exception. So it's a piped connection. So buffer reader will take the reference of file reader. File reader, either you can pass string variable or you can pass file object. Do I have any heading? No, I don't have heading. I can read from first line. listen carefully. I have totally 24 lines. So I'm reading the first line, buffered reader dot read line. So I'm reading the first line. I'm storing it in data. I need to repeat the process until it reaches to null. So this loop will be executed for 24 times. First time it will read first line. So Delhi, Mumbai 2:10, INR 6000, everything will be stored as one single string data. One line, entire line will be stored in one single variable data. But I want to split it. From this, I want to split and I want to retrieve 5 data. So from to distance, time, and amount, fare. I want to split and I want to get 5 different data. From one string, if you want to split n number of strings, here we are splitting, we need to split based on comma because it is a CSV file. Listen carefully. So I need to use string array. I'm declaring as data 1. From data, I want to split based on comma. Will it be fine?
Yes, ma'am.
So anyone, so I have some 35 participants. Anyone wants explanation on any line which I have typed, I'm ready to give. But don't sit without knowing any previous lines. I'm assuming like whatever the code I'm returning is already I've done. I'm just repeating. If you want explanation for this line, I'm ready to give.
Try line number 9.
Line number 9.
PR new buffer reader. Yes, ma'am.
So we are going to retrieve the data from the file. So if I want to read the data from the file, either we will use byte stream or character stream.
Okay.
Here we are using character stream called as buffered reader. So buffered reader, I cannot reference my file name directly. I should use one another reference, which is file reader. Always when you are referring a file, go for this syntax.
Okay. It's for
Ma'am, if I directly go with the file name, that should be an error.
It will not allow, it will not at all accept.
Okay.
It will not at all accept. There is no constructor definition directly as a string for your buffered reader.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm reading the first line and I'm checking it is not equal to null. Once I read the first line, I'm storing it in data. That data I'm splitting based on comma. So that I am passing to my flight object. And don't forget, when you want from data, you will be getting data 1.0. So everywhere we have this extra space. So extra space is particularly not for from to. So take care of the space. I don't have a problem with first data, but when it takes to second data, first index. So please call trim and truncate all the spaces. I should call from, I should call to. Distance alone, I need to convert to integer, remaining all are string. Int distance is equal to integer dot parseInt of what data I want to convert, which is data 1 of second index. Before converting, ensure that there is no unwanted white space in your string. In order to overcome the unwanted white space, we will call trim. The first parameter is 0 and second parameter is 1. The third parameter is distance. I don't have problem with the next two because next two falls under the category string. 3, dot, don't forget to call trim to avoid unnecessary space. Is that okay? So one single line we are reading and we are splitting and we are storing in array. So this array is having 5 data, data 0, data 1, 2, 3, 4. So other data or string, no problem. Only the third data is distance. So before passing the data, convert to an integer.
Ma'am, can I ask why dot trim is used?
What, repeat?
Dot trim.
Dot trim is used to truncate the space, unwanted space. You remember when we are handling this data, before Mumbai, there is one space. Before this 2:10, there is a space. So trim is used to truncate the space before and after the string.
It is declaring a space, na ma'am? Trim.
It is a string function.
Okay.
So first data, which is Delhi, Mumbai 1148, all these data, which has been read and which has been passed to flight object. That's all. That object you need to add in your list. This is for the first time. When the loop executes for the second time, so now data 1 will be the second line, Delhi and London. And then Delhi, Bangalore, Delhi and Singapore, because you have while loop. This while loop starts from Delhi, Mumbai, and it will go till Tokyo and Seattle. So 24 records will be read, and every time the data will be, a single line will be split based on comma, and we are doing appropriate conversion. I am storing in file object, that object I am adding in my list. So after this file loop, if you try to print the data in my list 1, you will have all 24 records as a flight object. That's all. So this is a speciality of loop. And this list I am returning back. That list I am capturing in my main class, main method, and I am printing the data. So now if I execute, so I should get all 24 records. See here. So flight data, all 24 data has been read, and each and every data has been passed to flight or class variable, and we are storing in list. When you are printing an object, you are getting an output in the form of toString. Even if you want to customize, you can customize here. So I don't want toString. I want in such the way. So I should get from concatenation to. You can get it. Let me get from and to alone. Because my object is holding the entire list in the form of flight object. So by using getter method, I'm just getting from and to. Can you see the output? This is what I want you to explore. Further, if you want to concatenate, I just wanted to concatenate object dot distance. You want to customize your output. Yeah, go ahead. If you print X, you will get toString format. If you want to customize, you can customize. Did I get space anywhere, unwanted space before Mumbai, before this 2, before INR? No. All the space has been truncated with the help of trim. Okay. So let us quickly do a comparable sorting. You remember comparable will do multiple sorting. So within a given data, I can go for ID sorting, name sorting, salary sorting. It is multiple sorting. But comparable, it is single sorting. Listen, repetitive interview question. Please look into the highlighted point alone. Whatever the differences in theory, we will implement. Comparable provides single sorting, whereas it provides multiple sorting. This is what we did on Friday. So comparator, we will create a separate class. So it will not affect original class. Whereas today's demo, I'm going to use original class. And I need to override compare to method. Here it is compare. I want to import util package. And when I want to call, I need to call the respective comparator class. But here I don't want to call. Whatever the differences, same differences, I'm going to use it in practical. Guys, listen carefully. Last week I created 3 classes. So today I will not create 3 classes. Instead, what is my Pojo class, which is flight? In your flight class itself, I will use implements comparable. So last week for comparator, I will be creating new class. For comparable, we no need to create a new class. We will be implementing comparable in our Pojo class. Here the model class is flight. So when I implement comparable, I need to override, see here. So I need to override which method? Compare to method. That's all. And same algorithm. So it will return 0. If you tell me, so based on which comparison, if, what is this? Else if, and at last else. Who's this? Always getting. So I have 5 data. So I cannot do sorting based on from, to, distance, all. At a time, I can do only one sorting. So in comparable, I cannot go for different types of sorting. I can do only one. So let me do it for distance, because this I have converted to integer. No, so I will use. Listen carefully. If the current distance dot, so it will take the compare to method will take only one parameter. Since I have converted to flight type, it is taking the object as flight. So the default value will be the direct variable name, which will be compared with this object variable, second data. If both are equal, I need to return. I need answer from you. It's not true, false.
Positive.
No.
Return 1.
0.
On the day I have introduced algorithm.
Zero,
0, positive, negative. So if both are equal, simply return 0. If the first value is greater than second value, we will be returning
1.
positive number. Else,
Minus.
we will be returning negative value. That's all. I cannot go for multiple sorting. My comparable, I need to use in my same model class. At a time, I can go only one sorting mechanism. If I do with distance, I cannot do with other parameter. Okay, I'll show you the output. Let me go to main. And in order to call both comparable and comparator, we will use collections dot sort of. What is your list? Flight details. That's all. Here we will just use collection dot sort of flight list. Whereas in last class, I have used collections dot sort of your list, comma, whatever the class, based on that you need to start. Here it is not multiple sorting. Here it is single sorting. I cannot go for multiple sorting. In multiple sorting, you will call collections.sort of your list, comma, comparator object. Here it is not required. So that's all. I don't have any additional parameters to call. That's all. Let me copy paste that display block. So
Ma'am,
this
can
is
we-
without sorting. Yes, tell me.
We override that method, ma'am.
Yeah, we need to override the method.
No, now we are using for distance. By overriding again, we can use
We
for
cannot
other.
do. No. How can I override same method again? It's not possible. If you want from, you need to cut the code and you need to put it again. That's what I'm telling. At a time, you can go for only one sorting only. If you
The
want
same
to sort
function.
for from, you need to delete the code and you have to put again.
So that means if we have to sort for the other, like on the other than distances, then again we have to remove the entire code and again overwrite the.
You need to delete this 51 to 62 and you need to change.
Okay, ma'am.
But only one sorting I can view at a time here. Whereas in the previous demo, within one demo, I showed you various ways. Yeah, guys, listen. This is actual data from Delhi to Mumbai to Tokyo to Seattle. And the next set of data is distance sorted. Can you see the first output? From 660, 845. So gradually it is getting increased till 13589. So we have sorted based on distance. One second, please analyze the code. 1 second. Take time, analyze. So instead of distance, if I go for from to, I need to modify here. Yeah, someone asked, can I copy paste this override compare to method again? No, it's not possible. So you can do only one sorting at a time. You read the line. We can sort the collection on basis of single element, ID or name or price. Here on multiple elements. We will create a separate class, whereas here the existing class itself we will implement. Here it is compare to method and comparator it is compare method. So with this, try to compare this resident. So step number 1 in second sprint, you need to, whenever they are passing an object, you need to add. Whenever they are passing that security number, you need to search and you need to return the respective object only. Here you need to sort based on names. Both the sprint of collections are simple. Here they want to sort based on name of the resident. So only one sorting mechanism. So you will be implementing comparable in your class, model class, and you will be overriding compare to method and you will do. So if it is numbers, we need to check greater than, less than, equal to. If it is alphabet, we have a powerful compare to method. Those who are pending with this resident, complete it. For string, you no need to go for multiple if and else if. You simply use string compare to and it will return an ASCII value, either 0 or minus or plus. Based on that, you can return. That also we discussed on that day. See here. Only one single line is enough. I'll show you. Guys, listen. I'm sorry. Return. Let's assume 2. 2 dot compare to 2 dot. So tell me based on which comparison. So right now I have commented my distance. I am comparing based on, I'm sorting based on
Source
two city. I'm sorting based on 2 city. Let us execute our main. So this is my actual data. Do you find anything on the output? What basis it has been sorted?
2 cities.
Can you see 2 cities starting from Bangalore? It's an alphabetical order. Bangalore, Frankfurt, London, Los Angeles, Mumbai till Sydney, Tokyo. It has been sorted based on 2 city for strings. Not even a complex query, because we have a powerful compare to. Don't confuse with that compare to and this compare to. This is a compare to method of comparable interface, and this is a string method which will compare one string with another string and it will return ASCII value, either 0, positive, negative. This one single line is enough for your string.
Ma'am, can you explain again this O dot distance?
Yeah. So compare to method, it is taking one parameter. So let's assume if I have Delhi, Mumbai, and then I'm having Delhi and Bangalore. So I have 2 data. So my machine will take the default variable as Mumbai. The data of the first object will be taken in the normal regular variable. This dot 2 will be considered as a first data. Whereas this Bangalore can be referred with the object which you are passing as a parameter. So Mumbai and Bangalore will be compared. Mumbai will be taken as the current variable and Bangalore will be taken as a parameterized variable. So that is why here I'm using the direct variable current instance dot the parameter instance. Always when you are doing sorting, at least we need to have 2 data minimum, maximum any number of data. And this compare to, comparable, and compare of comparator is a predefined algorithmic code. You just wanted to take care of those inputs and compare, and you return the appropriate positive, negative, and 0 values. That's all. Here it will take only one parameter that will be considered as a second value. So if you take the output, my machine will take this as 2 and this as O.2. Then London will be 2, Bangalore will be O.2. Is it okay? And then based on that, swapping will happen. I'm sharing the same set of files. Try and complete your second sprint. It is similar to this. Yeah, you can take 5-10 minutes break. Come back at 11:30 and continue with this sprint.